Hi everyone, welcome back to the Reddit drama channel with another Reddit cheating story. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and like the video if you enjoy it. Also, please click the notification bell so you won't miss when another cheating story goes live. These simple clicks mean a lot to our channel, and thank you for your support.
I was happy she finally had a friend, but I didn't know they were. My girlfriend and I started dating each other at 17 years old, and we had a 2-year relationship before we broke up at 19 years old. We were the same age at the time. I am now 20 years old. My girlfriend, who we'll call Susie, and I met each other during high school on a sports team. She was a year ahead of me, and was a senior. I had had a crush on her for quite a while. Then finally one day, when we met at a park, I had deduced that she liked me, as well. Things suddenly clicked. We had a very Hollywood-esque romance. I was good friends with her brother, and we did nearly everything together. We were each other's first almost everything. First girlfriend/boyfriend, first kiss, first everything beyond first base. I loved her and would have given anything to slash for her. We made it through her first year of college, despite being many states apart and in a long-distance relationship. She came home most breaks and we loved seeing each other. We talked on Skype nearly every day, but never too long. I let her have a life. All of our friends predicted that we would get married. In fact, we gave each other promise rings during her first year in college. Her parents knew and supported us, but we could never tell my parents. My mom would have flipped. However, we both recognized that, since we had never dated anyone else, it was possible that we would meet other people and decide that they were better for us. My one request was this, that Susie tell me that she liked another guy, in person if possible, before she did anything with that guy, including telling him that she liked him. Well, my freshman year of college started and everything was peachy, until mid-October. She met this guy, who she told me about, who she hung out with for a couple hours one afternoon at their student union building. I thought it was totally harmless and perhaps even good for her because she didn't have many male friends, not my doing. I encouraged her to make more. Also, he was from Yemen and she was very into other cultures, majoring in French and Russian, so I thought she would enjoy talking to him. A few days later she told me she thought that this guy, we'll call him Mark, liked her, and wanted to know if I was okay with her still hanging out with him. She had asked me not to hang around a couple girls who she had known liked me, and felt bad about being a hypocrite. I told her I was totally fine with it, and we kept on being happy. Well, the next Saturday, they were together from 12 p.m. to 12 a.m. She had been busy all of the past week, so Saturday was the day we had set to Skype. I could barely get in touch with her through text, and didn't want to get angry because I knew how much it meant to her to have a guy friend. She apologized on the phone that night, and told me we would Skype the next Saturday. I forgave her, told her it was no big deal, and we moved on. She was busy all that week too. She's a scholarship athlete for a major university and this was the start of their season, so we texted a little and talked on the phone a couple days. Come Saturday, she tells me that she's going to the football game and would be able to Skype a little later. I had expected this and waited. After the game, Susie texted me and said that Mark had met her at the game and invited her to sit with him. Her doing so was awkward, because typically all of the swimmers sit together. Big tradition. Afterward, he brought over some food to her house to enjoy with her and her roommates, and she texted that it would be a little bit before we could Skype. I was a little miffed, but still patient, not wanting to seem jealous. I didn't hear from her again, and texted her around 6 that night. She had last texted me at 3. She didn't respond until 1 a.m. They had been together from 1 p.m. to 1 a.m. She was extremely apologetic and promised me that it wouldn't happen again. I told her I was a little irritated, but that I could let it slide because I just wanted her to enjoy herself. She promised me that nothing was going on between her and Mark, and I told her I trusted her and knew that she would never cheat on me. Famous last words, I suppose. Next weekend, the same thing happens and we don't get to Skype until late at night after they've hung out for 5 hours. They also hung out during the week. That Monday, she tells me she wants to break up with me because our lives are going down different paths. I question her on that and her story changes to me not supporting her swimming, and then to my overprotection of her only evidence. I asked her not to drink, though I told her I could never be angry if she decided to. I just didn't think it was a good idea for her. I suspected she was falling for Mark, but she told me over and over that he was not at all a factor. Besides, he is set up to be in an arranged marriage, so he can't be with her. By the end of the conversation, we were both in tears and she agreed to stay with me, and that we could work it out in 2 weeks at Thanksgiving. She wanted some time alone, so we didn't talk for a week. A week later, November 8th, Susie calls me and tells me she's sure she wants to break up. I ask her to please tell me if it's Mark, and she denies it. I'll shorten the rest that takes place over a year's time. We meet at Thanksgiving and she reveals that she cheated on me, emotionally. It was Mark. I left there broken. I cried for days. Over the next few months, I tried to be friends with her, but she said she didn't want to talk because she needed some time to get over me. She needed time to undo everything I had done to her, which I, and all of our mutual friends, still do not understand to this day. I thought that was silly and unfair, but there was nothing I could do about it. I had given my heart to this girl, so as silly as all this may sound, keep in mind I had devoted everything to her. When we saw each other 6.5 months after we'd broken up, she's cold to me and barely said anything, at a larger social function, so we were in a couple group conversations together. However, she starts to lighten up as the summer goes on and I start to think we can maybe be friends. In August, she comes home for a week before going with her family abroad, and comes over to my house. She does everything to make me feel bad, interrupts our conversation by taking a call from Mark. She tells me that she doesn't listen to the same type of music as she did before, which was one of the big things that got us together, and then finally gives it to me straight. She had also cheated on me physically while we were still together, with Mark. Not sex, but close. And they had sex shortly after she and I broke up. Also, she wanted sympathy from me for her predicament. Mark is supposed to be in an arranged marriage, and he can't decide whether to do what his parents want and marry the other girl, or be with Susie. I've learned that she told a lot of our mutual friends that I was abusive to her. I would never have come close to doing that. And, fortunately, most of my friends stood up for me and got her to admit she was lying. She is now trying to be friends with me again. And I want to throw up every time she contacts me. I know it sounds stupid, but even though it's been over a year since we broke up, and half a year since I found out the full extent of her cheating, I still think about her every day. Something in me still thinks this was too sudden of a turnaround to really be true, that something else is going on that she hasn't told me. After all, she kept changing her story over the course of 9 months. This is more than likely just wishful thinking, but it's what's keeping me going right now. She was my life for nearly 2 years. I loved her more than anything, and then she cheated. I don't know what to do, Reddit. I've tried to get over her, and I'm pretty much there. I've been able to show myself that she's not the girl I was in love with. The girl I dated was appalled by the idea of cheating. I've been able to convince myself to move on. But I miss her. I haven't had another girlfriend since. I've tried, but never really intensely. I'm sorry if I missed any important details. Please give me some advice. Here are some of the best comments from our community. Wow, this is one manipulative bitch. Don't beat yourself up, man. You started dating her very young, so young in fact her true personality had not yet emerged. The person you thought she was existed only in your head. There are plenty of amazing women out there, you will find another woman to love, it just takes time. One day this girl is going to look back and realize that she messed up big time not being with you, but you'll have moved on and be living your life with someone who does want to be with you. It's her loss. This made me sick just reading it, what a bitch. Also that Mark guy probably doesn't love her. Most men in arranged marriages like that, foreign, going to a foreign school for a while, they are doing what we call sowing wild oats. He's basically screwing around as much as he can before he goes back to the security of a girl already given to him. She is in for a rough time. Sucks for her lol. Thank you for watching and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell for any future cheating stories.